Well, folks, figured I'd get on here and talk about all these people that may be going to jail. You know, these DAs and maybe some congressmen and women. You know, it's like it's about time some of these people are held accountable for their bullshit. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, Independent, Communist. I don't care. You know, you're anti-American. That says a lot. But then when you're sitting there and you're in a position of being a DA or a judge or a cop or something like that, and you're more crooked than anybody you can possibly know, or man, they need to be taken out. I mean, out of society, with, go sit in jail for a while. Some of them probably, they probably need to get the chair. I mean, it's one thing when you're going to get real bad guys, and people that are harming people, people that are, assaulting others and commit violent acts against someone. That's different. You need to go and subdue those people and get them under control and get them off the streets. But when you act worse than they do, you need to be off the streets. I mean, what gets me is a lot of interactions people have is just with law enforcement over a traffic stop. And most of traffic stops, it's just, it's just like, oh, okay, you're speeding. All right, just give me a ticket, improperly, okay, give me a ticket. You're following too close to somebody, just give me a ticket. No, just give me a ticket and I'll be on my way. But they have to escalate the situation and ratchet it up and up and up because they're tyrants and bullies. If you're having problems just dealing with people over a traffic violation, and you're a cop, you're in the wrong profession. You shouldn't be a cop. You need help mentally. I mean, it's like, they seem to think it's them against the world. It's like, well, don't flatter yourself. You're not that important. Oh, I could die any minute. Don't. You're not that. You're not in harm's way like that. I mean, come on, really. Hell, somebody's more apt to die from you than they are than you die from them. I mean, hell, you're more apt to commit suicide. And substance abusers and wife beaters and all kinds of things. I mean, you're like the worst of the worst. And these DAs just running rampant, just doing whatever they want to do. And from what I've been seeing, man, they're the worst. They know better, too. I mean, I could see somebody that doesn't really understand things and doesn't get it because they don't deal in that kind of stuff. Maybe, answering a question wrong or like, well, I don't know, these answer stuff, I mean, I get some of that stuff. So I mean, there's people I know that they get a job somewhere and they spend more time out running around on the road, selling this or selling that or a truck driver, whatever, and their quote they're hardly at their primary residence. I suppose they could get in some kind of trouble. But it's not that they've set out to do anything wrong. It's just that's their life, These people, they're ready to throw the book at you, and they're out doing 10 times worse. And these judges, oh my God, they're totally out of control. I mean, I've talked about this before, but man, and the Supreme Court, you're talking about worthless. I mean, come on. They're giving no guidance whatsoever. I mean, it's real simple. Like I said it before, if it's constitutional, it should be a unanimous vote for it. If it's constitutional, if it's not constitutional, it should be a unanimous vote against it. And it doesn't matter what party or line or anything you take. It's either is or it isn't. So why do you have some people, 4-9, 5-6, whatever? You know, that makes no sense. So obviously they don't apply the law the way they should be applying the law. And that makes them unfit. You know, they make all these laws for you, to control you, to control society, all this and that. When the biggest problem is them. They should be making laws for them. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Anyhow, hopefully everybody's having a good day. Hopefully you're finding your life getting better and not harder. Hopefully these government workers that have been laid off are finding jobs. I mean, decent jobs, not just a job to have a job, but a decent job. Something that was maybe comparable in pay to what they had, which is good. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people they don't want to work. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what else is there? I mean, what are you gonna go do? Oh, play video games. Okay. I mean, I suppose there's some people that like that mindless stuff, but whatever. They call that entertainment. Okay. They like to watch movies. Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, how many movies can you watch? I don't know. I mean, you don't have to work all the time, but by gosh, keeps you busy, keeps you active, keeps your mind working, keeps your body going. A lot of people, that's why they die, about 10 years after they retire. They slow down. They have no purpose in life. I've seen a lot of farmers. They're usually in their 80s, mid 80s. Some even older, early 90s, and then they finally decide someday, well, maybe we'll sell some stuff and retire. As the auction's going on, man, they're just the rationalization really starts hitting them. It's really done. I'm really done. I mean, it's really over. And a lot of the stuff they had, over the decades, the memories they had doing things with this tractor or that thing or, stuff, and, doing so and so with brother or uncle or cousin who, a lot of that stuff, it's gone now. And it seems to me quite a few of those farmers, usually like within 6 months or so, they're dead. The one thing that they love doing and they cherish doing is gone. There's no reason to be carrying on. I mean, that's what happens to a lot of it. I don't know so much about somebody sitting in a cubicle. I mean, I suppose there's some people that like doing what they do. Can't imagine, being too much fun. But some people probably like it. I mean, one nice thing is if you're in a retail or hospitality, things like that, you get to interact with people. You can see people, talk to people, all kinds of people, different walks of life, the whole 9 yards, and that could be fulfilling and rewarding. A lot of people, they're like, you're supposed to be working and not talking. Then when you're not talking, you work. You're supposed to be talking and and engaging the guest. And so you can never win because they're a bunch of pricks too. So no, they just like get out there and just to bust your balls a lot of times. I mean, you think, oh, they told me I have to do this and I do that. And now they gotta say I do that too much, and I have to go back and do this. And well, and they can just never make their mind up. Why? Because well, they're idiots. You know. So it's like going to a bar. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it makes depends who you are, probably, and all kinds of things. But there's probably some bar owners that make pretty good life, and some, well, they just just get by, just get by. So it's one of those things where you can stand there and talk to a lot of different people. Probably learn a lot of different things. That's not all bad. I think one of the worst things you could ever do is go to a bar and all the cops come to. God, that would be horrible. Listening to all those stories about how I did this and that guy, boy, he used to see look at his face. Hey, that woman, she got lippy with me, and boy, I just told her, and I hauled her ass off. And it's like they brag about being assholes. What a life. I mean, there's probably do a few things that might, well, yeah, yeah, I give that guy a warning, so it makes me a nice guy, because I gave him a warning. Yeah, whatever. You know, why'd you pull him over in the first place? Who cares? They got the point. The minute they saw you pull up behind them or pull up alongside of them or whatever, yeah, they saw you. They slowed down. They started paying attention to all the whatever laws you got. You don't even have to pull them over. Oh, then you pull them over, you got to ask them 1,000 questions that just you don't have to answer. And then when you don't answer it, well, they'll retaliate towards you some way, shape, or form. You know. And never let them search your car because they can't be trusted. So don't let them. Oh, what do you got to hide? I said, what do you got to plant on me or in my car? you know, I mean, you know, I love that. Oh, what do you got to hide? I said, what do you got to plant on me to incriminate me and to haul me off and to be a low life piece of shit like you are? Oh, you don't know me. I said, oh, I know you. I know you very well. Yeah. Interaction with cops. Oh, we have the right to do whatever we want to do, and if by God we won't, we'll make it up. Yep. Yeah, I was watching. His name was John Byron. B Y A no Bryran. He's a civil rights lawyer. I think he's out of Virginia or something like that. Civil rights lawyer or something like that. There's a lot of people that do what he does, but he's pretty good. He's pretty fair about things. And that Comey threatened the president like he did. What a fool! And he was the head of the FBI or whatever, FBI or whatever. Really? You know better than that. You're supposed to be more mature and grown up than that. And these people aren't. And that's more scary than anything. Think about that. You got people like that that were in charge of powerful agencies doing those things, saying those things. That's worse than letting illegals in the country. And then the Supreme Court, oh well, hey, we got to give them due process. We got to give them due process. Were they processed to come into the country? No. Why are we processing them to leave out of the country? Supreme Court is so screwed up. I mean, they're anti-American. You have to be anti-American. Wouldn't you want to do what's best for the American people as a whole? Isn't that like your duty? Isn't that at the end of the day what you're striving to do is do the best you can for the American people? But they don't. They do what's best for their pocketbook, but they don't really care about you. They're tyrants and dictators. Unbelievable. Well, folks, I just got on here just to kind of rant a little bit about some of this prick shit because, I'll see it. I don't know. It must be because I watch some of it, and then more and more pops up on my thing, and of course I'll watch it, and then it's like, really, it's like, oh yeah, and then the Supreme Court says you have to tell the cop that you don't want to talk to him, and you're invoking your Fifth Amendment right. Supreme Court says, yeah, you got to tell him you're invoking. I don't have to talk to anybody I don't want to talk to. I don't have to invoke something because I already have it. You know? I don't have to say, oh, right now I'm covered under the Fifth Amendment. Now I'm not. Now I am. Now I'm not. You don't have to sit there and play their bullshit game. It's real simple. You don't have to speak. Would you invoke your Fifth Amendment? Didn't know I had to. My right. It's my God birth. It's my birthright. I don't have to sit here and invoke this and invoke that. It's already there. It's done. I mean, really? Think about how stupid that is. That's somebody that is such a petty piece of dog shit that wants to control and control and control. They need to leave. They shouldn't be in that position. They need to be impeached or whatever. It doesn't matter, but they need to leave. I'm sure China would love to have them. I'm sure their North Korean buddies would love to have them. I think they should go there and find out. I mean, they are the enemy. They're the reason some of these 1798 laws and stuff were enacted because of people like that. They're anti-American. Anyways, I could go on and on. So, you folks, you understand. Y'all take care.